Have you ever been scrolling through looking at a resource packet of student activities when all of a sudden you discover answer keys? Sometimes this comes from a textbook publisher or another location online, but oftentimes we have large files that include pages and activities that are not student-facing. When this happens, all you have to do is use Kami's split and merge. All you have to do is head up to the toolbox icon here in the top right. Come on down to the first option here that says Split and Merge Files. What it does now is it makes a copy of your original document so that way your original remains intact. But now you can select Next, and you can see your entire document has been loaded here onto this row. Now, it's very easy for you to just simply drag and drop files that you want to be separate from one another. Perhaps this is all of the student work, and these are the teacher-facing pages. Now you have two different files, so you could rename them. And from there, you've got a couple of options. First, you could export this directly into Kami. If you felt that this was the way that you want this activity set up, all you have to do is hit Open with Kami and hit Continue. Then you can take it into Kami and add any additional supports that you need for students before you assign it with your learning management system. Additionally, you can export and simply download the file to the device that you're working on. Or perhaps you'd rather put it in cloud storage, such as Google Drive or OneDrive. Either way, you have lots of options for where these files go now that you've created them. If you would like both of them to go to the same Google Drive folder, for example, you could go up to the Export All button here in the top right. When you do this, you can select Google Drive or OneDrive if you're a Microsoft user, and then select the folder that you would like them to reside in. Once you've selected the folder, both files will get stored in that folder simply by hitting Continue. This is one way to use our Split and Merge utility. Let's now look at another way to use Split and Merge. I'm going to come up to the top right of my screen and utilize the Kami Chrome extension. Then I'll choose Open Kami. If you're using a different web browser, it might look slightly different. Now, let's scroll down the dashboard page, and you'll notice that Split and Merge exists right here, about halfway down the dashboard. If we click here, it will take us back to this familiar Split and Merge environment that we just saw. Now, we're able to head to our computer, our Google Drive, OneDrive, or the Kami library to add files. In our last example, we split a large file apart. In this example, let's take a look at how we can merge together different files. I'll go ahead and click on the Google Drive icon and head to the appropriate folder. Now, you can see that I have a variety of different types of files. There are DocX or Word files in here. There are Google Slides. There are PDF files. There's even a PowerPoint. All of these different file types can be merged together using Split and Merge. What I'll do now is hold down Command on my keyboard. I'm using a MacBook. Therefore, Command allows me to select more than one file at a time. If you're using a Windows PC or a Chromebook, you'll want to hold down Control. As I do this, I can select all different files. And then head down to the bottom and choose Select right here in blue. What Split and Merge does is it loads up these files into this environment, making a copy of each one so that your originals remain intact. Now, we'll go ahead and choose Next. Each file comes into Split and Merge on its own row. As we saw in the last example, this is a drag and drop environment. So if you want to create a multi-page packet for students, you can do so by simply dragging and dropping these files to wherever you'd like them to be. If you come across files that you don't need, you have the option to delete them. If you come across a file or a page that you would like to duplicate, that's an option here as well. If you come across an entire file, so this is the entire file and these are the individual pages within that file. Let's say we don't need this file, it was a duplicate. We can use the X right here. So as you can see, this becomes an environment where teachers can completely customize and personalize the learning experience for students. Once you're happy and have the packet arranged and customized the way you want it to be, then all you have to do is hit Export, like we looked at in the last example. Before we do that, I want to show you one last feature that's very important, and that is the Duplicate button. So let's say that we give this a name and we call it Martin Luther King Packet, and then I'll put First Period. Maybe I teach this class third period and fifth period as well. I can hit Duplicate and then rename this for third period and also for fifth period if need be. At the very bottom right of the Split and Merge environment is a plus sign. If you've forgotten to include something and you need to head to your Google Drive or to your computer or to the Kami library, perhaps we need a Venn diagram to do some comparing and contrasting. We can easily do that. Simply hitting Open with Kami will bring it right in. And now we can go and put it where it needs to be. The icons below each page allow you to rotate them, make them larger so that you can see what they are, clone them or duplicate them, or delete them if need be. Split and Merge allows you to either merge together many different file types into one PDF, or split apart existing PDFs to remove pages that you don't want, or to pull a single page out for a student activity. If you have any questions about Split and Merge, we hope you won't hesitate to reach out.